Hello again. I'm going to do something a little bit different now. I'm going to read you a story. Now, I'm going to send two videos through, one with just the story, so you can watch it as often as you like, and one with some rhyming games in it. So we're just going to read the story in this one, and then you can come back and watch it over and over again and get to know the story a little bit and get to know the rhyming a little bit. We've been doing a little bit about rhyming in class, so hopefully you should be getting pretty good at it. And when you do come back into school, we'll be doing more work on rhyming as well. So let me share my screen with you again. So screen share. I'm getting the hang of this now. Here we go. So the story I'm going to read to you today is called A Monster Surprise. So let's see. Oh, look, I love a map. So there's a lovely map here. This is where the animals in this story live. So here we are. We've got the name Little Nook. So this is where they live. And it's going to start, I think, where's it starting? I think the story's starting down here in Rabbit's Lodge. So let's have a little look and see what happens. Here we are. Beneath the leafy rooftop of the woods in Little Nook was a very hungry rabbit who was searching by the brook. My flowers have been stolen, almost every single bunch. Rabbit panicked, feeling sure there was not enough for lunch. He saw a clump of fur between some sticks upon the ground, and he thought, that he might know just where the culprit might be found. Who do you think that fur belongs to? Let's have a look. So Rabbit marched to Squirrel's house to find his precious food and to tell his friend that taking it was really rather rude. Excuse me, shouted Rabbit, now that with Squirrel in his... Oh, I've got to move my picture. There we go. Excuse me, shouted Rabbit, now with Squirrel in his sight. I was really rather looking forward to my marigold delight. I know you took my flowers. Please return them right away. But it wasn't only Rabbit who was missing food that day. My acorns have been stolen, Squirrel shouted with a cry, and the villain left a bite mark in my tree as they went by. The friends knew just one creature who would nibble on a tree, and they thought that they might know just where the culprit might now be. Look, they're stomping off. But who's that lurking in the background? So on they marched to Beaver's house to find their precious food and to tell their friend that taking it was really rather rude. Excuse me, shouted Squirrel, now with Beaver up ahead. I was really looking forward to my toast with acorn spread. I know you took my acorns. Would you kindly give them back? But it wasn't only Squirrel who was cross about her snack. My branches have been stolen, snuffled Beaver, full of grief, and I'm sure I saw a pointy tusk belonging to the thief. The friends knew just one creature with a tusk of any sort, and they thought that they might know just where the culprit might be caught. So they marched to Boar's house, off to find their precious food and to tell their friend that taking it was really rather rude. Excuse me, shouted Beaver, now that Boar was in her view. I was really rather looking forward to my branch and bramble stew. I know you took my branches and I'd like them back unchewed. But it wasn't only Beaver who was longing for her food. My berries have been stolen, shouted Boar, wide-eyed with shock, and the robber left some footprints leading right across this rock. I've never seen a creature who has footprints of that kind, so I think that we should follow it and see what we can find. The friends climbed up the rock and clambered down the other side as they trekked to find their food with just the footprints as their guide. They took a narrow path that formed a line between the trees, and then crawled through thorny bushes that left scratches on their knees. They climbed some jagged rocks until their feet could take no more. Then they came across a cave that had a boulder for a door. Who do you think's in there? The boulder started moving. The creatures stood in fright as a silhouette inside began to shuffle into sight. "A monster!" shouted Rabbit as the friends all turned to flee. In the panic, Rabbit tripped, collided head first with a tree. The monster's hand loomed down, and as he picked him up, he shook. There was nothing quite so scary in the whole of Little Nook. "Oh, please say you won't eat me," Rabbit begged with fearful eyes. "I would never eat a rabbit," laughed the monster with surprise. "Oh, well, thank you," answered Rabbit as he brushed the dirt away, and the friends were all relieved to see that Rabbit was okay. The monster mumbled shyly as it bent down on one knee, "I was hoping that you would all like to join me for some tea." The monster clicked his fingers, and the glowworms shined their lights on the most amazing party full of wonderful delights. "Our missing foods," said Rabbit. Now the monster's plan was clear, and the creatures all said sorry for reacting with such fear. "Please join me," said the monster as he headed for the seats. "You can help yourselves to cups of tea and lots of yummy treats." When Rabbit's little tummy brimmed with marigold delight, and when all the toast had gone, and with no more acorn spread in sight, when Boar was full of berries and the stew was at an end, they all thanked the gentle monster, who was now their brand new friend. And there we can see the map, and it's got their footprints showing how they went. Can you remember? They went from rabbits to the squirrels, to the beavers, to the boar's nest, to the winding woods and the thorny thicket, and they climbed over the rocky ridge to the monster's cave. I enjoyed that story, so you can listen back to that as often as you like and get to know the story a little bit and spot the rhyming words. And then when you're ready, you can watch the other video that I'm going to send with rhyming words game in it. Hope you enjoyed it. Bye.